And we're recording. Hello, everybody. I just want to say thank you for your suggestions on Facebook. I'm going to be doing this a little differently. Instead of making multiple videos for each song, instead I'm just going to make a long video of me doing each of the songs, upload it to YouTube, and then I'll just put a link with a time signature so that it'll underneath each comments for each song. So that'll work. It's less work on my end because I don't want to do it. Yep. So yeah, if you're watching the entire video, you don't need to, or you can. You're gonna see a lot of me rambling and just doing other things. Anyway. I got my Facebook opened up, so let's go down. So what I did was I turned off the notifications for this, and then I wouldn't be tempted to look at the suggestions before I did the improv training, because that kind of takes away from the entire exercise. All right, well, let's start. Michael Spark. Not really a party story, but I have the most awkward online dating story that might be a good song. Cool. Well, Michael, you can tell me about that later. All right, let's go to the next person. Aldo J. Lopez. Not a party, but I invited a girl and a guy friend over my house with 1 gram of terrible cocaine, and when the girl inevitably snorted it all, she asked for Womp Womp, which is apparently computer duster, and we all drank and huffed. Of course, she took my more handsome friend into her room, and several minutes later came outside. My friend informs me he had whiskey dick, and I went in there immediately after like a pathetic Superman to save the day. Wow. Lot to take in there. That's excellent. Well, let's I was chilling with a friend of mine. I decided to invite them over and we take out some bad cocaine, and the girl snuffs it all shamelessly. Then we decide to get creative. We get alcohol and I see my computer duster, and I think, well, the girl thinks, hey, why don't we huff this stuff? So we get really high all the way into the sky, and I think that I might score, but the girl thinks I'm a bore. She takes my handsome friend to the other room, and I'm sitting around thinking of my doom, but the guy comes back and says I can't perform, and I no longer feel forlorn. So I go to save the day like the most pathetic Superman, and I bone that chick after a night of taking a lot of drugs. Okay, well, yeah, that was the song. Hope you liked it. Not all improv can be good, is what I'm going to say to that. Well, moving on to the next one. Marcus Tyrell. I went to a party once. I smoked weed for the first time at the party. Good for you. While I was there, me and my buddy Ryan got high for the first time. We were sitting on the porch and some guy came running out of the house and 5 dudes after him. The guy running jumps into his car, then pulls out a gun and says, I'm going to fucking shoot you all if you don't fuck off. So, as I'm high off my ass, Watching this go down, I'm freaking out, thinking, shit, I'm going to die. I then see the guy with the gun jump into his car again, back up into 5 cars and speed off. This isn't the worst part. We haven't gotten to the worst part yet. That's great. A guy I knew at the party was passed out, and the guy with the gun hit his car. The guy who was passed out drove a 1979 Mustang, all rebuilt and redone. He hit the car with force and knocked it down an embankment into a tree. Yeah, not a car you can replace. No one knew the guy with the gun, so no one ever had seen, and no one had ever seen him before. I was high as fuck and was scared as shit, all in the same night. Well, Marcus, thank you for sharing that terrifying story. And that's why you don't smoke weed. Otherwise, people will pull guns. That is the obvious connection, I believe. Decide I'm gonna be adventurous, so I go to a party, something I tell my friend Ryan I can't miss. I decide devil's lettuce has long been a mystery to me. I decide it's gonna be my first time to pop my weed cherry, and as I'm getting high, I see a guy. He runs past while 5 of the guys chase his ass. I'm wondering what the fuck is going on. Did the TV all of a sudden become real life? Well, the guy then pulls out a gun, and I think that I'm gonna fucking die. Well, these situations escalating, but the guy then drives off, negating the situation. But he backs into a 1979 Mustang and drives it down into a tree. The guy, the owner, is passed out, and when he wakes up, he's gonna be weeping, 'cause it's not a kind of car you can replace. Alright, well, thank you for your suggestion, Marcus. I really appreciate it. Okay, moving on. Alda, I feel so bad, because, like, you were my warm-up, and then I feel like the Marcus one did, but anyway. Chaz Logan Hyde. Oh, good lord, that's a lot. I went to a party that was a singled-out house in a field right behind my high school when I was 16 with a few friends I had. We were weirdos, to put it simply. We were brought to it in some sense by this random dude we knew that threw a brick through the window of the Republican Center of town. That's an interesting way to meet someone. He ditched us about 9 minutes into being there, and we were stuck hanging out with the biggest rednecks from our school, half of which graduated the year before. There was a ton of locker room talk, which is in quotes, and 9 Inch Nails playing. A man proceeds to throw a couch and a car battery in this janky bonfire they made. Someone shot the battery with a shotgun, which was quickly followed by a guy trying to jump all the bullshit. He fell into the fire and was in there for 3 seconds too long, which is 3 more than 0. He came out slightly charred and angry. All the while this is happening, never once were we allowed in the house. That's when the party ended, basically. The recently burned guy yelled at us, and then we slept on the ground for an hour until our actual friends showed up randomly and took us home. I didn't think anything was gonna beat the Marcus story. Holy fucking shit. Alright. I'm gonna hang out with my widow friends. We go with a guy we barely knew to hang out at a party. Well, we get to this place and he ditches off to leave in disgrace. Now we are stuck hanging out with a bunch of red roughnecks. Oh ho, it's getting pretty weird up in here. There's a lot of locker room talk, and it's about to get worse. There's a bonfire going. I'm thinking this is nice. It's really kind of warming. Then some douche takes a couch and throws it into the fire with no doubt. Along with a car battery, things are gonna escalate quickly. Then some guy, probably drunk off his ass, decides he's gonna jump this shit. And it goes as well as you would expect. He burned his red ass neck. He was in there for 3 seconds. 3 seconds too long he was, which is quite prolonged. Well, he gets out of the fire, and from that point he's pretty angry. He began shouting at everyone, and people began to leave. But we have nowhere to go, don't know what to do, so we sleep on the ground. Then a friend of ours discovers us and drives us home. What a weird night, but you can't top it. From a storytelling perspective, I will never forget the redneck who got burned by couch and car battery. Well, Chaz, I hope you enjoyed that. Alright. Next one is from Stephanie LaRae Hayden. I'll be honest, when I first saw your name, I was reading it Stephanie LaRae Hayden, because that rhymes, and also Raiden is a character from Mortal Kombat, but you don't need to know that. I'll probably have the time signature after this bit. Knew 2 guys when we were all teenagers that went to a frat party one night. They were rolling around town one night picking out skate spots, and they ran across what they described as the biggest frat party they'd ever seen in Corvallis, somewhere in the downtown campus area. Naturally, being 15 and 18, they crashed it. They had been upstairs, somehow hustling drunk college guys with beer pong for 2 hours, and heard someone yell about cops. They straight up bailed out the second-story window and booked it back home. They stumbled through the front door, drunk as fuck, laughing their asses off, and throwing pocketfuls of money on me and another friend. It took a few minutes to get the story of their ventures of that night of them, but we finally did. It was then they realized they had left their skateboards at the party. Two high school boys are bored playing with their normal toys. They're going to find a spot to skate around and stuff like that. But then they see a promised land full of college boobies. So they decide to crash the biggest frat party they've seen in their lives. They somehow hustled upstairs and began running the beer pong tables, and for 2 hours they made straight up bank. And they were having fun, but that was about to be ruined. They heard the cops were coming and jumped out the second story. Well, they decide to go back home, drunk as fuck, stumbling through the door. They pull out all the money they hustled from the beer pong before. They're laughing at their good fortune, but soon realize their misfortune. They left their skateboards at the party. Well, at least they have some money to buy new ones. Alright, cool. Well, yeah. Thank you to everyone. I hope to God this is recording. Oh, it is. Oh, wow. That was 60 minutes. Cool. Well, thank you to everyone who, put down stories. Mike Spark, with the awkward online dating one. Maybe I'll put out a suggestion thing, for future stories, but it's just, I really appreciate your help with all this. This is all, so I can master my improv skills and, continue making stories on the spot. So yeah, I want to thank everyone who put their stories. Mike Spark, what I'm saying is, I'll put my next suggestion will be bad online dating stories, and you can throw that on there. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video and